What's up, guys? Still out here doing it. It's your man, Ernie, and I am wanting to discuss another verse today. A little different than the Leviticus one I did yesterday. Let's do a verse out of 1 John. Now, this was written by the Apostle John. It's one of his epistles, actually, and there's 3 of them in the New Testament, and this verse is 1 John 2 and 15, and it says, "Love not the world, neither love the things that are in the world, for any man who loves the world does not have the love of the Father in him." That's like King James Version, and that may not be word for word, that's just from my memory, but I used to be studying around a dude who was he was way into Odin, and he was into Norse mythology, and anytime that verse would come up or anything that said love not the world, he would be disgusted, and he would talk about Jews and Christians and how disgusting the God of Abraham was, because it's telling us to not love the world and it's to hate the world. Well, I think he was taking this verse far too literally. So I wanted to get into it because that's one of my life verses, really. Love not the world, neither love the things that are in the world. Think about that. It doesn't mean not to love the people around me. I think what it's telling me to do is to not form unhealthy attachments or an affinity for the physical, because the spirit is much higher. So it's saying to look to higher things, kind of like that, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you. If we seek first things in the spirit and put that ahead of the physical, then we're further ahead. So I think that's what this is saying. Love not the world. And worldly things, I think of the flesh, the carnal minded man. Sorry, I have something in my eye, and I've really had allergies lately. I think of being carnally minded, to go after things that we're biologically driven to chase, and to love the world and to chase worldly things and not spiritual things. Spiritual things would be actual love, which is thinking outside of yourself and not necessarily always putting self satisfaction or hedonistic tendencies first. It's saying to put the interest of altruism first in the spirit, That's all. I just wanted to discuss that verse and see what you guys think. I think it's a beautiful way to live, but it kind of goes against our true physical nature sometimes. But I put that video up of me preaching to animals, right? The idea of, and I didn't say whether it's an art piece or it's actually me going out and doing it. It doesn't matter to me. The idea of preaching to the creation or preaching to animals, which are supposed to be these things that I'm subduing and training up, but instead I'm exalting them. The way I view that, not necessarily put my carnal desires first, which would be to dominate everything around me like the animals, and to totally not think how they're doing and just treat them as objects, because some people do that, or even treating other humans as objects. That might be our first desire, like in business, for instance. You want to get one over on somebody. Screw him, I'm gonna get ahead of this career, right? Now let's think outside ourselves and think of him as higher than me. That goes against our carnal desires to do that. So our first instinct is often to really put self first and put pleasure first and instant gratification first. And the real sign of a mature spiritual human is their ability to not jump on instant gratification and to delay gratification. That patience, that long suffering is, if you can nail that, especially in the United States of America, you're doing pretty good. So love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.